Genesis is about to enter territory dominated by the world's most expensive luxury SUVs. The GV90 isn't just a bigger Genesis. It's an all-electric flagship designed to challenge the idea of what a Korean luxury SUV can be. 2. Introduction. Genesis has spent the last few years building a serious luxury car lineup. The GV70 brought Genesis into the premium crossover market. The GV80 established the brand as a serious luxury SUV competitor. And now Genesis is preparing to go much further. Meet the GV90. This is expected to become the largest and most luxurious SUV in the Genesis lineup, positioned above the GV80. More importantly, it will be fully electric. The GV90 is based heavily on the ideas introduced by the Neolun concept, a spectacular luxury SUV concept that previewed Genesis' vision for a flagship vehicle. The mission is simple: take Genesis luxury, add an enormous electric SUV body, and create something capable of competing with the world's most prestigious premium SUVs. 3. Exterior design. The first thing you notice about the GV90 is its presence. This is a large SUV. Prototype vehicles have appeared with a long, upright body and proportions that make the GV80 look considerably smaller. The design clearly carries Genesis' signature two-line lighting theme. Thin lighting elements stretch across the front and rear, giving the SUV a recognizable identity even from a distance. The front end is expected to have a clean electric SUV appearance rather than a traditional large grille. But Genesis doesn't appear interested in making the GV90 anonymous. The Neolun concept showed an extremely smooth body, powerful shoulders and elegant proportions. The production vehicle appears to retain much of that philosophy while making the design practical enough for mass production. One particularly interesting feature is the possibility of coach-style doors on certain versions. The Neolun concept used pillarless coach doors, and prototype sightings have suggested that Genesis has been working seriously on this idea. But whether that feature reaches every production version remains uncertain. The wheels are expected to be large, matching the vehicle's flagship status. And the overall design seems less aggressive than many performance SUVs. Instead, the GV90 is going for something more difficult. Presence without shouting. 4. Interior. Inside is where the GV90 could become truly special. The Neolun concept presented an interior inspired by high-end Korean hospitality. Instead of making the cabin feel like a technology showroom, Genesis focused on calmness, space and comfort. The concept featured luxurious seating, premium materials and an unusually open atmosphere. The production GV90 is expected to retain that philosophy while becoming much more practical. This should be a 3-row SUV, giving it the ability to carry families as well as VIP passengers. The second row could be available with individual captain-style seats on higher specifications. That would transform the GV90 from a simple family SUV into something closer to a luxury lounge. Materials should be a major part of the experience. Expect leather or premium alternatives, soft touch surfaces, metal details, wood-inspired finishes and carefully designed ambient lighting. But the real goal isn't simply expensive materials. It's creating a cabin that feels quiet and relaxing. For a large electric SUV, that could become one of the GV90's biggest advantages. 5. Technology. The GV90 is expected to be one of Genesis' most technologically advanced vehicles. The digital experience should be significantly more sophisticated than the current generation of Genesis vehicles. A large central display, digital instrumentation and advanced connectivity are expected. But Genesis' technology strategy is not only about screens. The GV90 is being developed around a newer electric architecture designed to support more advanced software and electronic systems. Future-facing driver assistance is also expected to be a major part of the package. Some reports have linked the underlying technology direction with more advanced automated driving capabilities, but exact production functionality has not yet been officially confirmed. So we're not going to invent a Level 3 driving system or claim a particular autonomous feature as standard. The final production specification will tell us exactly what Genesis delivers. 6. Engine and performance. There is no gasoline engine here. The GV90 is expected to be a fully electric SUV. A dual-motor all-wheel drive setup is widely expected, which would provide electric drive to both axles. That arrangement makes sense for a vehicle this large. It can provide strong traction, instant electric torque and better control in difficult weather. But there is one important rule. Don't believe unofficial horsepower numbers yet. Genesis has not released the final production output figures as of now. The same applies to battery capacity, official driving range, 0 to 60 mph acceleration, top speed, charging time, towing capacity. Those figures will matter enormously. A flagship EV cannot simply be luxurious. It needs to deliver competitive range and charging performance too. The GV90 is expected to use a newer EV architecture related to the group's next-generation electric technology, with faster charging and improved efficiency among its goals. But until Genesis publishes the final specifications, these numbers should remain open questions. 7. Driving experience. A vehicle this large isn't supposed to feel like a sports car. The GV90's mission is different. It should feel powerful, stable and extremely comfortable. Reports and prototype observations have pointed toward features such as air suspension and rear-wheel steering. If those systems reach production, they could make a huge difference. Air suspension can change the vehicle's ride characteristics and help isolate passengers from rough roads. Rear-wheel steering can make a large SUV feel easier to maneuver at low speeds while improving stability at higher speeds. Combine that with electric all-wheel drive and the GV90 could feel considerably more agile than its size suggests. But the real test will be whether Genesis can make the vehicle feel natural. Luxury isn't just about softness. It's about control. The best flagship SUVs feel effortless whether you're driving through a city, cruising on a highway or carrying passengers across a long journey. That's the standard the GV90 has to meet. 8. Safety. A flagship Genesis needs flagship-level safety. The GV90 is expected to feature an extensive suite of driver assistance technology. That should include systems designed to monitor traffic, maintain lane position, assist with braking and help during parking and maneuvering. However, the final airbag configuration, crash test ratings and complete driver assistance list have not yet been officially published. And that's important. A concept or prototype cannot be treated as a finished safety specification. The production GV90 will ultimately have to prove itself through real-world testing and official safety evaluations. 9. Reliability and ownership. This is where buyers should be realistic. The GV90 is a new flagship EV. There is no long-term reliability history for the model yet. That means we cannot honestly tell you how it will perform after 10 years. However, an EV does have some potential ownership advantages. There is no traditional gasoline engine, no conventional exhaust system and fewer mechanical components associated with an internal combustion drivetrain. At the same time, the GV90 will depend heavily on complex electronics, software, battery technology and electric motors. Those systems will need to prove themselves over time. Warranty coverage, scheduled maintenance and ownership programs will vary by market and should be checked when the production vehicle officially launches. 10. Competitor comparison. The GV90 is entering one of the most competitive luxury categories in the world. Its potential rivals include large electric SUVs such as the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV, BMW X, Rivian R1S, Kia EV9, and other premium three-row electric SUVs. But Genesis has a different strategy. The GV90 isn't trying to win only through acceleration. Its biggest weapon could be luxury design. The cabin, the materials, the rear seat experience, the quietness, the lighting, and the feeling of being transported rather than simply driven. If Genesis gets those details right, the GV90 could become a very different alternative to established European luxury SUVs. 11. Pros and cons. Check mark pros. Flagship Genesis SUV. Fully electric powertrain. Large three-row layout. Extremely upscale design direction. Neolun-inspired styling. Potential coach door configuration. Expected all-wheel drive. Potential air suspension. Potential rear-wheel steering. Strong focus on rear passenger comfort. Distinctive two-line lighting. Premium alternative to established luxury brands. Cross-mark cons. Final specifications are still limited. Official range has not been confirmed. Horsepower and torque are not confirmed. Pricing remains unknown. Long-term reliability cannot yet be judged. Large size may make urban driving difficult. Luxury EV competition is becoming extremely strong. Some concept features may not reach production. 12. Buying advice. Who should buy the GV90? If you want a large luxury SUV with 3 rows, electric power and a design that doesn't look like everything else on the road, the GV90 could be extremely interesting. It's especially appealing for buyers who want luxury without simply buying the traditional European brands. But there is a reason to wait. The final production specification hasn't been fully revealed yet. We need to see the official battery range. We need to know the charging performance. We need to know the price. And most importantly, we need to see how the production cabin compares with the incredible Neolun concept. If Genesis gets those details right, the GV90 could be one of the most significant new luxury SUVs of its generation. 13. Final verdict. The Genesis GV90 represents something bigger than another new SUV. It is Genesis saying, "We are ready to compete at the very top of the luxury market." It's big, it's electric, it's designed around comfort, and its concept car inspiration gives it an identity that most luxury SUVs simply don't have. There are still unanswered questions. Range, power, price, charging, and long-term reliability. But the basic idea is already fascinating. If Genesis can turn the elegance of the Neolun concept into a production SUV without losing its personality, the GV90 could become the vehicle that changes how the world sees Genesis. This isn't Genesis trying to catch up anymore. This is Genesis trying to lead. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more upcoming cars, luxury SUVs and the future of automotive technology.